why enter the Admap Prize? Why give up those evenings and weekends when you could be doing far more leisurely things and to try and produce something for it? It's a really rewarding experience. But the thing that it gave me more than anything else was discipline. As a planner, I spend a lot of time talking, I spend a lot of time reading, pontificating, chatting, kind of skimming over topics and finding them quite interesting and forgetting a lot of it a week later. And the process of having to write an essay creates that discipline, that structure that means that you can't have to take all those thoughts and structure them, bring them together and turn them into something. And that in itself helps you understand the topic better than anything. So I can't remember quite when the title is set, but I think there's about 9 months from when the title's set to final submission. And I found I actually took all of that time in producing it, because it created a sort of frame of reference, a context to all the reading I was doing, all the conversations I was having. I set my Flipboard on my iPad up to data and just started seeing what was coming in. I spent time on WARC exploring data and just sort of feeding the brain, and it meant that when I had the chance to sit with interesting people, I had a question I was trying to answer, so I would ask them and get their points of view. And there was a sort of gestation period where all these thoughts were coming together, all the notes were collecting, and then into a period of, okay, what's the point of view then? What's the angle on it? What's the thing that you think's most interesting? And then a whole period of craft when you're trying to take a series of thoughts and turn them into something that's got lasting value. I think we, as planners, create quite a lot of things that have temporary value, and we'll craft a presentation and we'll try and make it good, but there's the extra 20-30% that we don't do because we know that it's disposable, it won't get used for that much longer, it won't get shared around the world, and this will. So you have to sit and you have to edit and you have to edit and get to something that is genuinely readable, genuinely valuable to people. And actually that's been one of the great benefits for me of winning, actually, has been the sort of the feedback. I sort of discover how global Admap is, because I've had feedback from China, from the USA, people just emailing and saying thank you, I really really enjoyed reading that, and it's given me a different perspective on things. And I can't remember the last time a client said that to me after a presentation. So that's the big difference. I think the other great benefit is it allows you to explore a new specialism. So, as I said, I set up data on my Flipboard. I'm not a data guy. Data definitely wasn't set up on my Flipboard before I decided to start tackling this topic. And I'd really urge people not just to enter because they say, okay, I'm interested in this topic, I want to write about it. I almost say, if you're not interested in it, there's even more reason to try and write about it, because you will become interested in the process. And I'm now fascinated in the whole area. I think there's such interesting conversations going on, and actually I guess the whole focus of my essay was making data more human and therefore more appealing to people like me who naturally gravitate towards the human, the creative side of things. I think what writing an essay does, it creates a sense of purpose, a sense of structure. So in exploring this specialism, it just kind of gives you an excuse to keep asking those questions, keep looking at new things, keep reading new things. Which, if we don't have it, we'll admit it, the day job takes over, and we won't spend that time otherwise doing something like this. I guess the final point for me, and the most important one, is around creativity. We all, I imagine, got into this business for the same reason, which is we like making stuff, we like creating things, we're proud of the output that we create, and most of the time we're part of a process, and we'll feed into it and someone else will do it, and that's great, because collaboration is everything and being part of a team is everything. But there's something really rewarding about making something all on your own. And I think for me the greatest experience was having to sit on my own, having to think this through, and sort of forcing your brain to do the work, and it not be something that's happening in a create review with 10 people and happening through discussion, etc. It's something you're doing on your own, and you get a real sense of pride when you've created something out the back of it. And obviously winning has been amazing, but I was feeling very proud long before I found out that people liked the essay, because I'd made something, and I'll certainly be keeping a copy of it in my bottom drawer.